Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new weekly painting, and this time I'm going to talk about layering or cleaning the wash. So it's something that I do a lot, uh, more than the dry brushing that I explained in the previous video, and it's how apply paint that is quite thin to help to build up the details. Okay, so normally I use especially in that case, for example, here we have done the dry brushing, but in some areas it's not working as we want, or there is not enough, how we say, not enough texture to do a right dry brush. So normally what I will do is I will now take the paint, thin it down, and we are going to clean up the parts where we want to be lighter. Okay. So normally what we are going to do is I'm going to apply here now again Usbati bone, that was the base color. You can see that it's quite okay, and if you see that it's too much or the contrast is too high, we can use another color that is going to be closer to the blonde that we already have. For example, we can use Zambezi Desert, that is a yellowish color. Okay, and we can apply this as well to help on the texture. So layering is really making thin, playing the highlights by, I will say, mixing using a super color. So this is too yellow. So this is the difficult part on doing that, is that you have to find a color that is matching a little bit better. So I will change this by Valor Brown to see if the Valor Brown is better. I think Valor Brown will do. Yeah, Valor Brown is the one I was looking for. You need to thin down the paints. Okay, and you can see, yeah, Valor Brown will do the work. Okay, we apply Valor Brown. We can even go, and what I'm going to do is here that the first time we did the opposite. So we apply Valor Brown, this thing, and now with Usbati bone we go to the sides. Okay, it's a mixture. Here I do like a mixture of layering, or I will say this is really highlighting more than layering. So, but highlighting without using dry brushing. So it's more a cleanup of the inks or of the washes, and working this to build the highlights. So for example, here on the skeleton, I will apply it. So you can see that the dry brush had difficulties to do the right highlights. So we are going to do this. I'm going to use a little bit of Valor Brown to help the transition, to make it softer. Okay, but the objective here is really to have a nice and clean highlight with and normally it's called layering because you do 2, 3, 4 layers of lighter color building up the highlights, right? So in that case I'm using first Usbati bone. I'm using first Valor Brown and then Usbati bone. Okay, and in the most extreme cases we can even use a little bit of Pallid Wych Flesh. Okay, here it is, Pallid Wych Flesh. But it's a little bit, it's almost white, to say it in a way. It's very light. You can see, you can use this very soft, very okay, very thin, and you use it. I wanted to say thin. We can do the jaws here. Okay, we can use the palette Wych Flesh just to do a highlight, and we keep working on the highlights of this guy, right? So it's something that especially if you have done overall wash, you want to clean up, and you can see that no, yeah, this is why I prefer this over the dry brushing. You have more control, but the dry brushing can be a good way to start, and now you use the layering to clean up, to make the work thinner. And this is here we have. Okay, so we will do like that. We can do like that. Okay, and especially here where we have a very small surface, I come with Usbati bone. You can see Ujas is doing the highlights. Okay, and I just use the Battleground when I need softer transitions that I have done on the school, or for example I will do another of these pieces of wood that we have here just as an example. Okay, so we can apply first the Battleground. Okay, apply the Battleground first on all these things. It will clean up a little bit these things that are looking like wood. Okay, we can do them all to make them look more uniform. And now I come with Usbati bone. Okay, and even if the previous one was not dry completely, sometimes it's even working better. Okay, but then it's a little bit of blending that you're doing at the same time. Okay, yeah, normally we talk about the techniques, like separate techniques, but you tend to, I tend to mix them when I'm painting, so in that way I can use the techniques. And then on the woods here, on this, I will apply, you can see, I will paint them one by one, and there is not other way to do it. Okay, so if you want this to look clean and tight, you will need to do all these like things that are looking pieces of wood one by one. Okay. And this is what it's another way to highlight. Okay, so I call it layering maybe, but yeah, it's not here. Even here, for example, where we have applied the dry brushing, so what we can do now is accentuate the parts we wanted to look lighter. The dry brushing always will give this sensation of a little bit hazel look, like here. So we know that there was some dark browns there, that we have put some dry brushing of bone on top. Okay, so you want to do this to tight a little bit the paint job, and of course you want to put this on the teeth. Okay, but here the dry brush have done quite a nice job, so we don't need to do much more here. The teeth I wanted to really make them white. So that this is the layering away. Okay, and that's all for this video, for this weekly painting. So please let me know what do you think, and let me know which techniques do you like to use, which if you are finding useful these videos. And yeah, and as usual, I want to thanks a lot for watching this video, and see you again later. Bye.